What's up, Barty Gang? I'm not gonna lie, this feels like the end of an era. The Little Miss Drama Tour is officially over, and wow, what a journey it has been. I've been right here with y'all, covering every city, every moment, every viral highlight, just to make sure nobody missed out, no matter where you were watching from. This wasn't just content for me, this was passion. Late nights, constant updates, making sure every video gave you the real experience like you were actually there. And honestly, the love y'all showed me through comments, likes, and support, I see it. I appreciate it more than you know. If you've truly enjoyed this whole run with me and want to support what I do, you can use the YouTube Super Thanks option below this video. It's a simple way to show love and help me keep going even harder for y'all. We've built something special here, and trust me, we're only getting started. I love y'all. So last night was the grand finale, the last impression, the moment everything is supposed to come together perfectly after weeks and months of sold out shows across the country. And when I tell you the crowd inside that arena, it was massive. I'm not even exaggerating. It felt like a football stadium type of turnout. You could feel that this wasn't just another show. This was the closing chapter. But here's where things take a turn. Because behind all that excitement, behind the glam, behind the anticipation, something was brewing backstage. And not the good kind. Now, before showtime, Cardi B actually goes live on Instagram. And y'all, the energy, completely different from what you'd expect on the final night of a sold out tour. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't hyping the crowd. She was visibly upset. And this wasn't small frustration either. This was the kind of tension where you can tell something really went down behind the scenes. According to her, members of her team were being disrespected the moment they arrived at the venue, and not in a subtle way. She made it very clear that the behavior from certain arena staff crossed the line. You could hear it in her voice: frustration, disbelief, and honestly, disappointment. Because think about it. This is someone who has just completed 30 plus sold out shows across different cities, dealing with different teams, different venues, different environments. And she's saying this is the first time she's experiencing this kind of treatment. That says a lot. And then she said something that made everybody pause. She literally told fans she was ready to cancel the show, not delay it, not fix it quietly backstage, cancel it. Imagine being a fan already inside the arena or on your way, hearing that the artist you came to see might not even perform anymore. That kind of moment, it spreads fast. Social media starts buzzing. Fans start panicking. People refreshing their phones like, wait, is this really happening right now? And she wasn't holding back either. She called out the situation directly, demanding to speak to higher management, making it clear that she wasn't going to tolerate disrespect, not towards her, and especially not towards her team. And honestly, whether you agree with how she handled it or not, you can't ignore the principle. Because at that level, after everything she's delivered on this tour, there's a certain level of professionalism that's expected on both sides. Take a watch.
Right here, because you're employees are being disrespectful. Why I'm not going to perform today? Because you're being, go get your balls, like you said. Go get them. I'm not performing today. Let me tell you why. Because we got in here, your employees are being for no reason, being rude for no reason, pointing fingers for no reason, touching people for no reason. And then they're telling me, oh, we got to talk to this. Because I feel a certain type of way, because you're being disrespectful. I did 35 shows, and I never had a problem. And we've been kind to everybody. So no, now I'm leaving. No!
Now here's what makes this even more intense. This wasn't just any show. This was the final night, the closing performance of a 3-5 city run. The night that was supposed to end everything on a high. So now the big question becomes, does she actually cancel? Or does she push through? Because at this point, it's no longer just about the performance. It's about the fans. The people who showed up. The ones who spent money, traveled, waited, and believed they were about to witness history. And speaking of history, even with all this chaos happening backstage, Atlanta Night 2 was already set to be record-breaking. Those two Atlanta shows, they didn't just sell out. They broke records, becoming the highest combined gross for a solo female rap performance in the history of State Farm Arena. Let that sink in. So now you've got two things happening at the same time. A historic moment and a near disaster. And somehow everything is hanging in the balance just hours before showtime. So what happened next? Did Cardi walk away from it all? Or did she step on that stage and still deliver one final show for the book? So now, let's get into what actually happened once the show went on, because after all that tension backstage, you would think the energy might feel off, but somehow, the second Cardi B touched that stage, it was like none of that chaos even existed. Atlanta got a show, and not just any show, a finale. Now, if you were following night one, you already know the level was high with appearances from T.I., Jeezy, and Mariah the Scientist. So going into night two, the big question was, how do you top that? And somehow she did, because out of nowhere, the arena shifted, the lights changed, the energy lifted, and then boom, Missy Elliott steps out. Now listen, this wasn't just a surprise guest moment. This was a legend stepping into a historic night. You could feel the respect in the room, the shock, the excitement, people screaming like they just witnessed something they never thought they'd see live. And the way they performed together, seamless, powerful, generational. That moment alone, viral. Take a watch.
Make some noise for Missy Elliott!
これからみんなでめちゃくちゃ踊って騒ごう騒ごう。
But Cardi didn't slow down for a second. She went straight into her bag, running through a heavy lineup. Pick It Up, Please Me, Enough, Trophies, Magnet, Killing Hoes, just hit after hit after hit. Like she was reminding everybody exactly why this tour lasted 35 cities and still sold out every single night. And the crowd, they were locked in. No fatigue, no drop in energy. If anything, it felt louder than night one. Now let's talk about who else was in the building, because Atlanta did not come to play when it came to support. At one point backstage, you had Usher pull up to show love after the show, and the two of them had a moment just vibing, talking, exchanging that mutual respect. And let's not forget, this comes just days after he announced that upcoming tour with Chris Brown. So seeing him there, yeah, that added another layer to the night. Take a watch.
Hi, how are you? Good. Thank you, thank you. I'm ready to go to your show. I'm ready to go to that, you know what I'm saying? Nope. I'm not, because you know, I want to go on vacation, but it's like a game with my kids and I just put it up, so it's like, I just want to stay home and record. I recorded this summer season. That's what I just want to know. So I'm going to just record. Yeah, got to go back to school. And then I'm going to go to your show. Check it out. Okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
Cardi,
Oh my God.
guys, can we get a two-shot? Usher, can we get a two-shot? Thank you. Thank you. Ready? Well, this way. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Yes. Sure. So we're like, I think I have to tell you.
Then you had Summer Walker in the building too. But here's where the conversation started. She didn't perform, and y'all already know how fans are. The moment people spotted her and realized she wasn't hitting the stage, questions started flying. Why didn't she perform? Was something planned? Did something change last minute? No clear answer, just speculation. But one thing's for sure, her presence alone still had people talking. And then you got Tyler Perry. Now this is what I found interesting. He was there night 1 and came back for night 2. At this point, yeah, he couldn't get enough. That says a lot about the level of what was happening in that arena. Take a watch.
I have to come again. Amazing. Go get it.
And in the middle of all that star power, you had something even more personal. Cardi's kids, Culture Kiari Cephas and Waveset Cephas, were spotted there too, alongside their cousin. In that moment, it hit different because now it's not just about the performance anymore. It's about legacy. It's about family watching you close out your first major tour. Take a watch.
How y'all been doing?
Oh my God.
Yeah, y'all in shock, huh?
Yes, bro.
Oh my God. It was nice to meet y'all.
I didn't actually think that would be me.
And then came the moment that honestly, nobody could ignore. As the show started coming to an end, the energy shifted again. But this time, it wasn't hype. It was emotion. Cardi slowed it down, looked out into that massive crowd one more time, and you could see it in her face. She got emotional. Tears. Real owns. Because think about everything this represents. Her first real arena tour. 35 cities. Sold out after sold out. Doubters everywhere at the beginning. People questioning if she could even pull something like this off. And now she's standing there at the final show knowing she did it. That moment, you don't fake that. That's not performance. That's real. Take a watch.
Thank you to my family for coming out. Thank you to all my friends. Thank you to all my fans. Thank you to all the celebrities that came out. Thank you so much.
And even after the curtain closed, Atlanta still wasn't done because the after party at the Dome ATL, that turned into a whole second concert. I'm talking packed out, loud energy through the roof so much that Cardi herself jumped on IG like, wait, is this really just an after party or another show? That's how crazy it was. And just like that, the Little Miss Drama Tour officially came to an end. She later posted a message of appreciation, thanking fans, reflecting on the journey, acknowledging the love. And honestly, it felt like the closing chapter of something big.
Hey y'all, it is your girl Cardi B, and I have to do this video right now while I'm drunk so I can tell you how I really feel and not overthink what I'm talking. So I just want to say thank you everybody who came out to the Little Miss Drama Tour and was a part of the Little Miss Drama Tour. I want to say thank you for my production team. I want to say thank you to my glam team. I want to say thank you to my wardrobe. I want to say thank you to my choreographers. I want to say thank you to my dancers. I want to say thank you to every venue. I want to say thank you to the catering. I want to say thank you to the security, to the bus drivers. I want to say thank you to everybody because this tour went really smooth, really smooth. And it went really smooth because we all did a great job. And I also want to say thank you for everybody that came out, from the celebrities. They just came to see me just to have a good time. And I want to say thank you to the celebrities that came out to perform with me. If y'all ever need a kidney.
So now I gotta ask y'all, after everything we just witnessed from night 1 to night 2, from the drama to the performances to the emotional ending, what was your experience like following this entire tour? And let's talk about it. A lot of people were expecting Lotto to show up for that final night. She didn't. So what do you think happened there? Was it timing? Was it plans that fell through? Or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay pretty, stay petty, and keep that Barty energy alive.